recorded live from Studio 12A in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to the Josh and Friends Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to the Josh and Friends Podcast. I am your host. My name is Josh. And this week I have a returning guest back to the show. He's the guy who's just up for whatever. And I think he's still up for whatever. I don't think that's going away. I don't think that's changing. I really don't. But he's also a lover of all the finer things in life, like cold brew and Dos Equis and Monster energy drinks. This is a true man of the people who laughs in the face of COVID. He's like, you got a problem with me, COVID? You got a problem? Why don't you step up? Why don't you step up right now, right to my face? Wait. Whoa, you're getting a little close. And he's here, in person, behind that plexiglass window I have over here, to discuss some of the more fun topics, both past and present. So it is my pleasure to introduce back to the show everyone's favorite Latin lover, my buddy, Mr. Erik Tapia. All right, Erik, welcome back to the show. How you been, man?
It's great to be back in the studio once again.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy about it. So, hey, first things first, I gotta ask. I see that your foot is in a big boot. What'd you do to yourself?
Well, a few days ago, almost a week now, I, doing some rough work.
Yeah?
Typical weekend activity and...
Typical? What were you doing?
Just cleaning the roof.
As
debris.
People usually do when it's 110 degrees outside in Phoenix in the summer.
I am Mexican, so yeah, we usually do. That's our prime time right there. That's where we make the most money.
Wait, were you doing this as a side job, or is this like for your own? Like,
oh no, this is my own house. So I'm coming down. And
and by the way, just to paint a nice picture here. We broke records today. Actually, the last 2 days broke records. What was today? Like 118 or 119 degrees or something like that?
Yeah, we're Arizona's breaking records. This is what we do.
And it's like every year is like the hottest year on record. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. We're really making a case for my brother moving here, right? As you said earlier.
He's got to experience it at some point.
If he's actually moving here.
He has to man up and deal with it.
Right. Oh, so Erik, hope you get better. First off, let's start there. What's going on? Are you going to be having surgery on this, or so what did you end up doing? What happened?
So we're using one of those extension ladders. So the rungs aren't as wide as a regular ladder. I was coming down and at some point missed a step. My foot got caught and pretty much snapped back.
So these damn ladders.
So I was on the ground for a few minutes. Couldn't feel my foot at first, but feeling started coming back. I eventually got up and I was able to walk on it.
Jeez.
Thought it was sprained, thought it would go away in a couple days.
Yeah.
Finally, I decided, all right, might as well go get this checked out, get some crutches, call it a day. Come to find out, it's a ruptured Achilles.
That's wonderful. Yeah. You said like the nurse practitioner was like, how are you walking on this? Or
yeah, from what they said, I shouldn't have been able, or at least in my condition, I shouldn't have been able to have been walking those 3 days.
That's great.
It probably didn't help my situation.
No, probably made it worse. But, so it's a good thing you went to the doctor right away.
Yeah. They said about 3 to 4 months I should be close to 100%.
But you did get tested for COVID there, right?
I did. It was mandatory testing.
And the results came back as...
Drum roll. Negativo.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Well, we already have you behind the plexiglass window here.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I'm in the clear.
But yeah, that's good. Because if you would have said yes, I would have been like really freaking out and probably would have pushed you out the back.
Well, we probably would have ended this interview right away.
Oh man. So you are going to be having surgery, or you're not going to be having surgery? What's going on with that?
So I opted for no surgery. I mean, I don't care about the recovery time, and
It's a pandemic. That's all we have is recovery time.
I care
right?
about the cost, and
Right.
I don't like going to the doctor as it is because it costs money. So,
And that's a lot of appointments. Like, okay, now we got to remove the cast. We got to do the surgery. We got to refer you to this specialist and this specialist.
well, I still got to do physical therapy, so that's
Yeah.
going to be a pain in the ass. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, I hope you learned your lesson. Oh, who are we kidding? You're going to be right back on those ladders right when you heal up.
Yeah, give it a few months. I'll be back. I'll be back in action.
Oh, gosh, Eric. Well, hope you get well soon. I don't know how long the recovery is supposed to take, but
3 to 4 months.
it's not too bad. It's like, how long have we been in quarantine?
Yeah, since
It's nothing.
at least a few years now, right? Yeah.
Seems like it. All right. So, hey, the last time you were on, everything was awesome. I think we were having drinks. We were just screwing around, like high-fiving. Woo, this is great. This is awesome. We're watching sports. We're sharing karaoke microphones. And then the coronavirus hit. And you, me, and my brother would always be having drinks together.
Yeah.
And but then all hell broke loose.
And he moved. Yeah. So,
Well, he says it's temporary. So
wow. Yeah. So did Rich Falls. And look how that worked out.
Oh, that's low, man. That's low. So yeah, no one knew, how contagious this thing was at first. And my brother and I are like, you know what? We need to still have Eric come over. It's is it safe? We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. But all they kept saying was, hey, the social distancing, and remember, like, it went from like 6 feet apart to like 8 feet apart to like 10 feet apart. Everyone was like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the safe distance is. So
Yeah, it was always up in the air. But
yeah.
you know me, I never cared.
No, you don't. You could care less.
I mean, 2 feet, 10 feet. I'm just here to have a few drinks, enjoy myself, and
Oh my God. No, so my brother and I, we took the backyard, we nailed in the stakes and measured that they were a certain distance apart, and we put up caution tape. It's so ridiculous. And we put up a tent for you in the corner with a recliner and the TV in the corner. Man, it was pretty awesome out there, right? It's like before it was getting hot.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that corner was pretty awesome.
With
Like, everybody
the
was
lights hanging up and stuff out
jealous
there.
of the corner, but I mean, when we break it down, the fact is, you and your brother, you built a barrier. Some might call it a wall. And there was one group of people on one side and one group of people on the other side.
How dare you?
But,
I know how you kept looking at us like that. That was terrible. I hated that.
I mean, we all had a good time. And eventually, I made my way across.
Yeah. Yeah, you jumped the wall. You jumped the wall.
I did. I broke it down quite more than once.
Oh, man. That was terrible. I mean, it was great. It was awesome. It was
good times. It was an experience.
Oh, yeah. This is why bars are a horrible idea, because, we would be still, hey, Eric, you need another drink? And we're like, we'd wash our hands and like put sanitizer on, and we'd be like pass you like shots and stuff like that. And we had a separate cooler out there for you to put your stuff in. And it was like just ridiculous, right?
It was quite the system.
But what happens when people drink? Everyone seems to get a little bit more bold, a little bit more cocky. Everyone's kind of, Eric's like, what would happen if I stepped right over this and just bum rushed you guys? We're like, don't you do it, Eric. He's like, who's going to stop me? And I'm like, whoa, Eric.
I mean,
how dare you?
Point, yeah, it was caution tape.
Well, I want to talk about when Arizona briefly decided to open back up. And we actually waited like a week before going out, because we're like, I don't know, is it like safe? Everyone says it's like it's gone. It's fake. It doesn't exist, right?
So we didn't know if it was going to even last that long, so that's why we waited it out.
Yeah, we waited a week.
Tried to play it safe.
Right. So we actually, when we finally did go to check out, a bar, we put on masks. We put on like I think I was wearing a bandana. You were wearing like a mask, and we walk into the bar, and man, I don't know how to describe this.
I mean,
how would you describe this? Like the looks that we were getting? Maybe you're used to. You're like, oh, it's just normal, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when you walk into a place and all of a sudden everybody just stops and looks at you because you're the odd one out. I mean, yeah, I've been there before, but in this case, it was because we were the only ones wearing masks.
Dude, I've never received like looks like that crazy, dude. I was like, I mean, they look like they wanted to fight, and I was like, okay, I'm wearing a mask. All right.
And then along came the high fives and the
dude,
hugs and drinking out of glasses.
Oh my god, yeah. So like, we went into this bar, our regular bar that we go to, and this place was batshit crazy. I mean, people were insane. They're running around like many. Remember, people were literally running around and stuff. And I was like, what the hell is going on in here?
Everybody was excited. It was a first night out, so to speak.
For many it was. And like people were like, yeah, like you said, what's her name was like this friend of mine. She takes my drink. She's like, what are you drinking? And she like literally drinks out of my straw. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm getting a new drink. And then like, yeah, people are high-fiving, like people are trying to put their arm around us. And like, and I was like, whoa. And he was like, oh, really? And I'm like, dude, I'm like, yeah, really. And
I mean, it's like it never existed.
Right. Yeah. And didn't this area become like the hotbed in the area for COVID like a month later?
I mean, yeah, there was quite a few names that kept popping up.
It was seriously like half of the bar that we went to. Like, I don't know how many. It's got to be like 60% of the people were all down with COVID. And I was like, oh, okay.
But not this guy.
Yeah, not me either. No. Oh my God.
I am good. I could go back right now and I am good to go. They might not be open, but I can still have a good time.
Oh, man. Oh. And they actually shut down that was like one of the first bars they shut down early because so many people started getting sick from that bar.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Wow. So I have a question for you. You know, there's lots of things that are deemed essential now or as, priorities, like, grocery stores and hospitals and delivery services and restaurants and things like that. And I actually know someone who was like, you know what? I think this is something that I absolutely need to do right now. I need to get a tattoo. And they went to a tattoo parlor. Now, should a tattoo parlor be something that is deemed essential? Is that something that?
I mean, on the positive, there's no alcohol involved usually.
Well, I hope there is. Aren't they wiping down your... Oh, you're talking about drinking alcohol.
Drinking, yeah.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You've been to tattaoo parlors? Not necessarily.
I mean, compared to bars, I mean, they should be all equal. Like, they should either be all open or all closed. And
there you go. Oh, God.
I'd feel safer going to a tattoo shop than I probably would a restaurant.
Oh, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then again, going to the store, you're risking it all anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So Eric, I found out after the last show that I had with you on, I found out a very interesting fact about you. And this was pretty awesome, I got to say. You're actually named after a famous actor. How can you keep this from everybody? This is amazing. So this is quite the revelation. So Eric, who is this person that you were named after when you were born?
I mean, for the longest time, I thought it was a lie, but
it's true, right?
It's true, yeah.
You verified this.
Yes, my mom absolutely 100% named me after Erik Estrada.
That's amazing.
Out of all the people, Erik Estrada.
So now, just for people that aren't aware of who this is, this guy was huge back in the day. Erik Estrada was he was in the show CHiPs.
Yeah.
From 1977 to 1983.
He was quite the ladies' man.
He was huge. It's funny because, as a show, I mean, I loved Ponch. Like, he was my favorite guy on the show.
Everybody loved him.
Everybody loved Ponch. Nobody cared about Larry Wilcox.
Nobody even knows his name but you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but he played Officer Frank Poncherello, or Ponch. 139 episodes from 1977 to 1983, and I think you guys have a lot in common. Actually, you're both of Latin descent.
Yeah.
I think he's technically Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
on the show, I guess he fought to be like they wanted him to play like an Italian guy originally. He's like, no,
Yeah,
we're not.
that was so dumb.
And then you guys are both popular with the ladies. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say so. Yes,
And that,
I would concur. Maybe not in the same way, but I would concur.
yeah. And then in 1979, Erik Estrada was voted one of the top 10 sexiest bachelors in the world. It's pretty awesome, right?
I mean, I'd get at least top 100. I would think maybe.
Did you know that he never drew his gun in that show? Never drew his gun.
I can't think of any episode where that.
No, you're not
came
going to
about.
find one. You could go and try to find one, but he never drew his gun. You know why? Because they took over the old 8 p.m. family hour, like kind of like the Disney hour that used to be on that time slot. Yeah, he said that, look, it was more about helping out pedestrians and people in trouble and the young kids who were straying. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? I think this could be used more today. And they should maybe like bring that show back.
I mean, he would have never needed a gun anyway.
Yeah.
Hand-to-hand combat, he's got it.
I just say he like stares and gaze into somebody's eyes and they're like, okay, I'm good. You know what?
You know what? I'm giving up, and that's
Yeah.
it. Here you go.
all
Arrest me.
Okay, so I love that story. Enough about Erik Estrada. I mean, I love that you're named after him, though. That's pretty awesome because he was a good role model back in the day.
Yes, he was.
So that's
Before my time, but yes, he was.
well, I hope it was before your time. How could it be before? How could it not be before your time?
Well,
if
yeah,
you're named after him.
I didn't know who he was for a while, and then I
That's awesome.
started questioning where my name came from. And
You know what the funny thing is? Didn't we actually think of doing Halloween costume as Chips one year?
well, yeah, because I always go for the easy stuff, you know. All I got to do is really shave, and that's about it.
Wait, I'm like, wait, Mexican costume, Latino. What could Eric be?
So you really narrowed down your.
Oh, how
your
dare you?
selections.
You came up with it. I think I can't remember. Maybe I did. So Eric, what I want to talk to you about today is your home state, the state of Arizona, the Grand Canyon state. You know, because we kind of like talked about this with Rich, the famous Rich Falls.
Sweet home Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of think it's your turn. It's kind of your time to shine. It's the Arizona Eric, you know. So Arizona is the 6th largest state in the country. That's pretty wild. That's pretty big.
I mean, we're growing.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
growing,
no,
we're-
in size. In size.
Oh, en masse.
Yeah, I mean, they might be growing.
Well, I know population-wise, we're growing. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the state's official neckwear is?
Neck wear?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I didn't either. I really, you know, like
A cross. I'll go with the cross.
that's a good guess. It's the bolo tie.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a bolo tie?
I probably do somewhere. I'm sure I do.
There you go. You see,
I dressed up as Colonel Sanders, so yeah, I'm sure I do.
what's his name dress up as Colonel Sanders one time, or is that somebody else? Didn't we work with some guy that looked
No,
like
that was our old manager. He looked like Colonel Sanders.
just on every regular day?
Yeah. So when I dressed up as Colonel Sanders, I wasn't quite sure who I was actually dressing up as. It was confusing, even for me.
Oh God, that's awesome. And so you are a Cardinals fan, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're a Suns fan.
Yes.
Okay. Diamondbacks?
I mean, if baseball's on, I might
Okay.
check the score after the game's over.
What about the Coyotes?
I've been to a Coyotes game before.
Nice. It's
pretty good.
You know, because I know you're always up for whatever. That's
for whatever.
That's your thing,
That's
man.
pretty
People are
much
like,
it.
hey, Eric, do you want to go to a Coyotes game? You're like, I'm up for whatever, man. I'm up for whatever.
Yeah, usually there's no questions asked. Like if somebody asks, "Do you want to
like-
do this? Do you want to do that?"
You're like, do they have beer? I'm in.
All right.
I'm down.
When and where?
Eric, will there be a football season this year?
Undoubtedly, there will be a football season this year.
Oh, you heard it here. You heard it here, folks. There will be a football season. And will it last the whole season?
Well, that's another question. I mean, those are two completely separate
That's okay.
questions.
Well, that might mess up my next question, which is, what will their record be for this year?
So I'm assuming we'll play at least half the season. So I'd have to go with, I don't know, 6-3.
Oh, that's a pretty bold prediction right there. Right on.
6-3.
There you go. You heard it here.
All we got to do is wait for the other teams to catch COVID and
Oh
win
my
by
gosh,
forfeit,
Eric.
and we're good.
Eric. All right. So here's some more interesting facts about the Arizona Cardinals. They started in 1898. 1898. That's pretty wild.
Who was even keeping record back then?
I don't know. But you know what? They actually started out in the south side of Chicago. You like that connection right there? You like that? You like that one? But they are also one of the least successful teams in the history of the league.
So
things just got quiet
like
here.
This interview's over.
No, buddy.
Yeah.
No. So, no, they've been around for 122 years and have 2 championships, which is more than the Seahawks have. But they've also been around for 78 more years than the Seahawks. So,
True.
You know.
So there's more margin for error. Yeah. That makes sense.
Did you ever go to any of their games when they're located in Tempe?
I think I went to one.
No, it was funny because those games, that was before they had night games. So they used to play like during the day, right?
Well, yeah, because all the night games were still kept for ASU, so Cardinals had to take the daytime games. And
those games, it was funny because, I remember watching those growing up in Seattle. We'd watch those games on TV and we're like, man, it looks so cool, man. That the stadium with the mountain in back and people sitting on the mountain and stuff like that. But you didn't, watching it on TV in Seattle, you didn't realize it's like 100 and something degrees.
Oh, no, you don't see that part. You don't see the heat. You see the sunshine, the clouds.
And people like moving from side to side, like following the shadows in the stadium. Like,
yeah, there was always a section where the shade would just glimmer over. So people, get up, walk around, move over.
It's so funny, man. And it was funny because you'd watch these games, and again, being from Seattle, you'd be like, man, look at the people in the stands don't look like the people in the stands from Seattle. You have all these girls like wearing like, bikinis and stuff, and hot blonde chicks and stuff like that.
We don't have to.
We had like trucker chicks like in our audience. Like,
well, I mean, we don't have to worry about the wind, the rain.
It's true.
The cold weather. So it's hot.
That's true.
When it gets hot in here, you take off all your clothes.
Oh, I like that. It's getting hot in here. All right. So, Eric, who are your all-time favorite Arizona Cardinals? If you had to put together a list, the greatest Cardinals of all time. Or your favorites?
I mean,
you have
my favorites. So I like when I was really, really following them, like, your Kurt Warner, Carson Palmer.
Right.
Anquan Bolden. Obviously, you got to throw Fitz in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't watch
Everyone
him
likes Fitz
too much when Tillman was playing, but obviously he would have to go in there just because he's Tillman.
Yeah, I always tell people, I go, if I was to buy like one jersey of all the Cardinals jerseys, it'd be a Pat Tillman jersey. I love that guy.
Yeah. And Denny Green.
What about? Oh yeah, he is like one of the greatest like drops of all time.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
They are who we thought they were.
And who's he talking about? Was it the Bears?
The Bears.
Oh my God. We're doing another connection here. This is amazing. What about Dan Dierdorf? You remember that guy?
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's a little bit before your time. Actually, it might be before my time as well, but I just remember always doing the color commentating on TV. So he had the mustache, a big guy, Anyway, I'm going nowhere with this. I'm striking out. Okay.
Okay.
So if you had to guess, who do you think leads the all-time series between the Seahawks and the Cardinals?
If I had to guess?
Yes.
I want it to be the Cardinals, but I have a feeling it's not.
It's close. It really is. It can't be any closer than this. It is. The Seahawks lead the series 21-20 and a tie.
Oh, the tie. Yeah, I'll never forget the tie.
Oh, I hate the tie.
That was the worst.
Did you go to that game?
I wasn't there at that game, no, but I watched it.
I was at that game, and that was weird because at that time you had the Seahawks and the Cardinals. This is a few years ago, right? So like the fans were so against each other. It was such a heated rivalry that at the end of the game, no one knew what to do because you can't talk trash. Usually at the end of these games, someone's talking trash. At least one side of the fans are talking trash to the other side of the fans. Everyone's walking out, and it's like dead silence. Everyone's just walking down and like walking.
It's one thing if it's a high scoring game and it ends in a tie. That's one thing.
Wasn't it like 6-6?
It was 6-6. Went into overtime and nothing. It was just missed field goals, and it was horrible.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh, it's so terrible. Bad. Oh, it was awful. Ugh.
It's a game you'd rather lose than just end in a tie.
Ugh, so terrible. So moving on. So the sun actually shines in Phoenix and Tucson for over 85% of the year, as you're well aware.
That makes sense.
That's even more than Florida and Hawaii. Pretty wild, right? Is there more of an accurate team name in history than the Phoenix Suns?
Oh, no. No, I mean that.
It might be the greatest name ever.
It fits.
Like as far as accuracy to a team name. Now the Suns have had some great players over the years, especially in like the 90s and like the early 2000s there. Who's your favorite Phoenix Sun of all time?
It would probably be Barkley.
Barkley, one of the most colorful players of all time.
Oh, yeah.
What's his famous? What does everybody say when they imitate him? They're like, terrible. Terrible. Yeah, it's great. We have Steve Nash. What about Steve Nash?
Steve Nash was good, and then he went to the Lakers. So at that point, he no longer existed.
Is he dead to you now? Or
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So all those years don't exist. What about?
He died a few years ago.
Oh, buddy. Oh, how about Dan Marley? You like going to Marley sports pubs and?
Yeah, and I've been there a few times. Dan Marley, and then you got your KJ.
Yes,
KJ was good.
You know, I met Tom Chambers, who was also a Sonic and a Sun. That guy was like twice the size. Like he was. I don't think I've ever stood next to somebody that tall. I was like, holy crap, this guy's tall.
Yeah, I can imagine. I never saw him in person, but I can imagine just.
I think I have a picture with him somewhere. It's crazy. I was like, wow, these guys are real life giants. Like people in the NBA, it's no joke. They are monsters. I think I was talking about this with somebody one time. We were in Seattle playing pool at this pool hall. And it was Gary Payton, and I can't remember the other guy. Someone was playing pool right next to us, and I was like, that's fucking Gary Payton right there. I was like, dude, he looks huge. Because on TV, what is he like? He's like 6'4" or something like that. He's the little guy. He's the little guy running around on the court.
Well, yeah, standing around everyone else. Of course he's going to be little.
These guys are like 7-something feet tall. It's like, holy crap, he is tall.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He could move around, and he could throw it down.
Man, it's wild. And then Kevin Johnson, isn't Kevin Johnson like a mayor somewhere now, or like in Sacramento or something?
Yeah, he's a mayor. He went all political, and
that's wild.
And, yeah, I mean, he had a good run. I mean, we would have had a great run, but unfortunately, we're talking 90s, so
right, yeah.
We ran into the Jordan train.
The Sonics. Sonics.
The who?
Oh, you know the team that doesn't exist
Oklahoma
anymore.
City Thunder.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, sorry. Too soon.
Then they had Paul Westphal, going a little old school.
Oh, now you're going way old school. You're going to the coach.
Well, what about Jeff Hornacek? He's a good shooter. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move off of basketball.
Hornacek is a good shooter. Makes sense.
All right. So you aware of some of the famous athletes to come out of college from here?
Out of college? Not offhand. No,
All right. So in football,
I don't follow college a lot.
Well, let me help you out because there's some big ones here. I mean, they're not like USC or anything like that, but there's some pretty big ones. So we have ASU had Pat Tillman.
Okay. Yeah.
Jake the Snake Plummer. We had Danny White, who was a great quarterback for the Cowboys back in like the late 70s, early 80s, something like that. Mike Haynes. You ever heard of Mike Haynes?
The name sounds familiar.
It's good DB there. He was a Raider. And Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs, yeah.
Yeah.
We had him for a little bit, for like a year, and then he went elsewhere.
Oh, no, buddy. U of A had Rob Gronkowski. Gronk. Everyone loves Gronk.
Of course, who doesn't?
Big dumb idiot, like running out. He's always having fun. Yeah, it's like happy-go-lucky.
He was part of wrestling for a moment, won a championship. I mean, he was doing it big.
And then you have Nick Foles. Nick Foles,
yeah.
But the greatest of all time to attend ASU was Al Michaels. The great Al Michaels of ABC. At least I think he's my favorite. I love Al Michaels.
You just threw him in the category.
Yeah, I just threw him in there. It's sports. I guess
so. Yeah.
He's primarily a football guy, right? I mean,
True.
Didn't play football, I don't think.
He sure talked about it.
Yeah, that's true. He probably knows more than you and I put together.
I would. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. How about golf? ASU, Phil Mickelson.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's the pride and joy of this town.
He must have graduated in like 70 something.
I have no idea when he graduated. But every time they, he's always won like the big draw at those, the Open. So.
Makes sense.
In baseball, these are some pretty big ones right here. Some big home run hitters. Big home run hitters. ASU had Reggie Jackson.
Okay.
Of Yankees fame in the 70s and 80s there. And then the Barry Bonds. You like Barry Bonds? You a big Barry Bonds guy?
I mean, Barry Bonds is big, yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he has big natural muscles.
It's all those vitamins and prayers.
Oh! How about going into basketball? What about James Harden?
Mr. Flopper.
Whoa.
That would not pass in 80s and 90s basketball. He would have got his ass thrown down for real.
You imagine him playing against like the Pistons? They'd be like just beating the shit.
Yeah, no.
You're like, I'll give you a reason to fall down.
Exactly. He wouldn't need to flop at all.
Back when they're like literally like, we're basketball players, but we're also boxers and we're assholes.
They would have taught him a lesson. For sure.
Of course, Harden's like a way bigger and stronger than those guys, so who knows? Byron Scott, you know who that is?
Sounds familiar.
A basketball player from Lakers, right? Lakers. Let's move on to Hollywood here. David Spade. You like David Spade?
He's big in Arizona.
Yeah.
He's done some things.
And here's one that you may not know. Wonder Woman. Linda Carter. You aware of that old show, Wonder Woman?
I know the show. I didn't know she was from Arizona.
Man, she was a beauty back in the day. But yeah, Linda Carter is actually from Arizona. I guess Scottsdale. Jimmy Kimmel went to ASU. Nick Nolte. Did some and my personal favorite, Thomas F. Wilson, aka Biff from Back to the Future.
Biff was in Arizona.
U of A had Craig T. Nelson, Coach. Remember that show, old Coach? Yeah.
Oh, I loved Coach.
And Kristen Wiig, John Hughes, but he dropped out.
Oh.
And last but not least, your girls, Kourtney Kardashian and Nicole Richie, both went to U of A, University of Arizona.
I mean,
yeah,
I guess.
See?
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
See, there you go.
Why not? I would invite him over.
All right, let's move on to the meat and potatoes of this category. How many wrestlers can you name from the state of Arizona?
That's a good question.
Oh yeah,
the Bella Twins. They were
Bella Twins. Boom,
Arizona.
There are some lookers there.
Daniel Bryan lived in Arizona for quite a while, but I think now he's back in Washington with your brother.
Oh. Oh wait, is that the guy that Aberdeen?
Yeah, Aberdeen.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
How about the most famous of them all from Arizona?
Oh, why am I drawing a blank? I don't.
Shawn Michaels. Did you know that one? Of 80s, 90s, and 2000s. They had him even wrestling into the 2010s on here. How long has this guy been wrestling?
I mean, he wrestled for quite a while, but he was he was more of a Texas boy than he was Arizona.
Okay. Well, it said Shawn Michaels. Maybe he was just born here.
Yeah, I think he was born here, but
or maybe he moved here. I don't know.
He's a Texan.
How about Vanessa Bourne?
Yeah, she used to dance for the Phoenix Suns.
Whoa! How about Gory Guerrero?
Oh yeah, that's a big family in wrestling. The Guerreros.
They said he's like a Mexican American legend from this area.
Yeah, that entire family.
It's literally I looked at his thing up. It says he's from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. From the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
There's like a long lineage of
that is insane
wrestlers after him.
Wow. Yeah. And last but not least, Val Venus.
Yeah, Val Venus. That was some straight up 90s porn star gimmick. Val Venus.
Oh, it's awesome.
And now he's in the marijuana business. So he's keeping it going strong.
Dang. Awesome. Good for him. Him. There's famous musicians from every area, and this place has no shortage of them. So obviously you have the Alice Cooper Went to high school with my dad. Went to Cortez High School, class of 1966. Linda Ronstadt. You know Linda Ronstadt?
Yeah, I've listened to her.
How about Stevie Nicks?
I don't know. Doesn't ring a
Fleetwood
bell.
Mac? No.
Fleetwood? No. Are they? Were they out the same time as Bucks Fizz?
Oh no. They're not even in the same league.
Oh, okay.
Bucks Fizz is way bigger.
All right. Just making sure.
It's wildly ignored
That's
here.
probably why I never heard of Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
Dierks Bentley. Have you been to the Dierks Bentley bar?
I think I actually went there one time.
Yeah?
I
Did you like it?
I think we all went there one time.
Probably did. Did we get kicked out?
No, it was just.
I'm sorry, sir. Is that your friend over there? Yeah. We're gonna have to ask you to leave. I'm like, wait, is that because he's?
Yeah.
No. He's wearing
Air Force Ones.
He's wearing Air Force Ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Air Force. What are Air Force Ones?
Yeah. I mean, when we used to go to places like that, I'm just like, all right, well, let's see what happens.
You're like half expecting it. You're like, okay, let's start the timer on my watch here. Okay,
Yeah.
so when's this gonna?
Again, it's one of those places you walk in and all of a sudden everyone looks around and you realize you're the odd one out and like, okay, well, you know what? Up for whatever.
And Maynard James Keenan of Tool moved to Jerome in 1995.
He would
Like
go
I'm
to
reaching
Jerome.
here, right? You moved to Jerome.
Yeah, nobody moves to Jerome's, but he really wanted to just get away.
Right. Yeah. Where could I be in the middle of nowhere?
He just wanted to be, they got that ghost town there, so maybe he's
Yeah.
maybe
They have a
he's
lot of
ghost hunter.
wineries there too. I think he opened his winery up there. I don't know. All right. So movies filmed here in Arizona. Oh, there are tons of movies here.
Oh, yeah.
Tons. When you think of like movies that were filmed in Arizona, what comes to mind?
Near Dark, which was a vampire movie filmed not that far from where I actually was born.
That's a deep cut. What year did that come out?
I want to say 80s. It had Bill Paxton in it.
Whoa. I love Bill Paxton. Rest his soul.
Let's see. What's that? Parts of Bill and Ted, of course.
Bill and
Metro
Ted.
Center Mall.
I was going to bring up Bill and Ted. So Bill and Ted was filmed in Arizona, starring Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and George Carlin.
Yes. George Carlin.
You know, the Joan of Arc scenes were filmed at the Metro Center Mall in Phoenix, and they're tearing that place down now, huh?
I mean, it's been dying for quite a while now.
I remember when I first moved here, I went there and I'm like, whoa, this is where they filmed Bill and Ted's.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
They used to have a mini skate park in there, and it was always packed. And then little by little, you just saw those black tarps covering up closed stores, and
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, you knew
Jeff
it was coming to
Bezos.
an end.
Yep. And this one is over by Jordan, the Tempe Circle K. Still need to go there. I just think that's funny because that's one of the main scenes where they're like getting into that stupid booth.
The phone booth?
Yeah. And the police station. Police station? Is that?
I don't. I stay away.
That one's
from
in
those.
Scottsdale, though. They had to film
Exactly. Even more reason to stay away.
And you still haven't seen the Star Wars movies, have you?
No. I've seen one Star Wars movie.
You've seen the one Star Wars movie that came out like a few years ago.
But it's on my to-do list, and given my current state, I really don't have a whole lot going on, so it might be next on the watch list.
There you are. Well, please start with the first ones, and when I say first ones, I don't mean episode 1. I mean
I got a
5,
list
and
somewhere
6.
somebody gave me of like watch them in this order.
Yeah, I'm in the camp of don't even watch the rest of them. Just watch the first 3. So the movie Star Wars, actually Return of the Jedi, came out in 1983, and you've heard of some of the characters, right? Like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
I mean, you know the characters. You just
Yeah,
don't
I've
know
heard
the
the characters.
movies and the. So anyway, Jabba the Hutt, they had this big, giant, huge barge that they built like over the desert, and it was filmed like west of Yuma, like at the Imperial Sand Dunes for the Return of the Jedi. And I'm like, whoa, that was filmed here? That's badass, man. Because it looks so crazy on the screen. You're like, whoa, where the hell are they? Where is this? This is nuts.
I mean, when you needed a lot of open land, Arizona was always a good place to go.
Yeah, seriously. Well, and of course, there's tons of Westerns that were filmed here. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, probably like half the Westerns that were not filmed on a set in California are like filmed here.
Yeah.
Some good ones like, you ever seen Maverick? Have you seen a lot of
Maverick
westerns?
with Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West, your favorite western from 1999 with Will Smith?
It's up there. It's up there.
The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Oh, that's like
Clint Eastwood.
those westerns outbeat any western that's
Yeah,
even
they're
made
pretty
today.
awesome. Because they're like very authentic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rio Bravo, Tombstone,
Tombstone's good.
filmed in Tucson. Young Guns 2.
Not the first one, just the second one.
Apparently. I don't know. It didn't have Young Guns on here. It had Young Guns 2. All right. And then they had Back to the Future Part 3 is on here.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yep.
Three Amigos.
Three Amigos.
You seen the
Classic.
Three Amigos?
Yes.
Some people are calling that out. It was like, it's pretty racist. That's kind of a racist movie.
I mean, a lot of them were back then, but then back then nobody cared. It was when it comes to comedy, it's
Right.
it's meant to be that way. It's meant to be offensive and piss you off.
Right.
and
Like what's
upset you.
what's the movie Blazing Saddles?
Oh yeah. I mean,
that one's like one of the most offensive movies ever. Definitely could never be made today, ever. Okay, so again, a lot of comedies were filmed here too, like, National Lampoon's Vacation,
gotta have that.
Raising Arizona. Have you ever seen Used Cars? Probably, maybe not. It's kind of an old movie. Came out in 1980. Just One of the Guys. That's a very teen movie from the 80s. Can't Buy Me Love.
That was a good one.
Can't Buy Me Love,
Classic
1987. Revenge of the Nerds was actually filmed at the University of Arizona.
Part 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The first
Nice.
one. Yep.
The only one everyone remembers.
Exactly. I mean, I know Nerds in Paradise, but it's not anything good. How about Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, well, it was all Cardinals. Makes sense.
In the Army Now.
Back when Pauly Shore made good movies.
I don't know if that's when it was good.
Okay, movies were watchable.
Yeah, and then they had some guy movies. You ever seen Billy Jack?
Yeah.
that famous kick where he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my foot and I'm gonna whop you on that side of your face.
Oh, yeah, my dad still got like the old school VHS
It's the greatest thing ever.
oversized case for it. It's amazing.
And then he's like, and you know what? You know what you're gonna do about it? And he's like, what's that? And he goes, not a damn thing. It's like one of the greatest scenes ever.
Everybody was a badass back then.
Oh, it's so great, Billy Jack. Yeah, no, and I guess that movie was the most profitable movie for how much they made it for and how much it made in the theaters for people that went to see it over and over and over in the theaters before
yeah.
Star Wars. I'm like, that's crazy. Okay. Natural Born Killers,
Classic.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That's another series I've never seen.
Oh, come on, man. The first one? At least the first one and the third one.
I mean, it goes hand in hand. Harrison Ford, Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
How about Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man? That's one of Lee's favorites.
I've seen that one. That one's good.
All right, moving off movies here. All right, so Arizona, they don't have as many inventions as Chicago does, but they do have a few interesting ones. So tell me how you feel about these inventions here. So the first one on the list goes all the way back to 1946 with the chimichanga. Come on. Who doesn't like a deep fried burrito?
This is true. I mean, in the end of the day, you can't deny it.
Man, you just
They're
really
good.
kind of like you're like a chimichanga, really?
I mean,
chimichanga?
I mean, nobody was making chimichangas growing up, but once they came into fruition, I mean, you're not going to deny it.
All right, here's a fun one. In 1972 came the jet ski. Yeah. Have you ever ridden a jet ski?
I've attempted. I don't know if you ever saw the video, but
I think I remember you seeing that video with you and Nicole and those guys.
There was an attempt made, and
what do you mean an attempt? How do you not get on the jet ski? And
I mean, I got on it, and then about 3 seconds later, it tipped over. So that was the extent of my jet ski.
Well, it's funny. I've been on it a couple of times. I remember one time my brother and I were riding him on this lake in Wisconsin, and I started getting a little cocky, and I tried to do one of those quick turns when you're going really fast.
Yeah.
And I ended up launching myself like 30 feet in the air. And it happened so fast that I lost my my brand new pair of Oakley sunglasses. Literally just bought them like 2 days before that.
That's what happens. The water is dangerous.
I didn't even know where I was. I looked up and I'm like, whoa, where's the jet ski? I didn't even know. That's how far I was from like this thing. It launched me that far.
And that's how people get taken away at sea.
I think my brother came up to me and he goes, dude, you were flying in the air. Wish that was on video. And this one may not shock you. You'll like this one. In 1966, the Miranda warning. The Miranda rights.
Really? Really?
Eric, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to a lawyer. Okay.
That sounds like something somebody did for a school project, and he submitted it to the police department. They're like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll use this."
Oh man, that was like. I think this podcast is making you angrier, not like happier. All right, let's lighten it up.
I'm good.
And last but not least on the inventions list here is you might like this one. It's from 1974. And I'm not making this up. I swear to God, I'm not making it up. Tasers.
So you're gonna go from Miranda rights to tasers. Is there a theme we're doing now? Is that what's going on?
And Eric, if you had to guess, what city came out with the very first taser?
Glendale?
No.
Phoenix?
No, think hard. This is a city that's near and dear to your heart.
Scottsdale, really?
Scottsdale, Arizona, baby. Scottsdale, your beloved Scottsdale.
Yeah, and half the time they don't even use them.
Have you ever been tased, Eric?
Have I?
Yes.
Once.
Oh, for real? You have?
Yeah, once.
Holy shit. What happened? What was the story on this?
I mean, you can't. No, but this was like non-police related.
Okay, so it's like just someone like had a taser and they're like, "You want to see what it feels like to be tased?"
Yeah.
You're like, I guess I should practice this. I mean, if I ever,
right.
I'm starting to hang out with my friends in Scottsdale. I guess I should.
But yeah, I guess it's a preparation in life. So.
Oh, that's so terrible. Oh God. All right, so I have some Arizona related questions for you. A couple more here. Have you ever cut down a cactus?
Yes.
Eric.
I mean, I have a cactus in my backyard now that
you've cut down a cactus.
Slowly cutting it down. Yes.
Well, if you have, which it sounds like you have, unless you're lying to us right now,
no,
and you're admitting to it on the air, well, that could mean up to a year in prison. And how do you feel about that, Eric? A year in prison.
I mean, not if it's in your own backyard. If I were to just go out to the desert and cut cactus.
Yeah, so I guess some of those cactus, how do you pronounce them? The saguaro?
Saguaro.
It could take up to 100 years for those to grow one of those arms.
Yeah, there's a lot of preservation, and I mean, I get the fine.
That's wild, man.
I don't know who just goes down and chops cactus, but... You know.
It'd be kind of like a tough task too, wouldn't it? Be like
it's a pain in the ass to cut down a cactus. So I don't know why you would freely go out to the desert.
Right. I mean, they have their built-in. They're kind of like porcupines. Yeah. They have their own protection. So
if you really hate cactus that much, just start a desert fire. And then,
right.
Yeah.
Oh no, buddy.
I mean, I'm not advising anyone to start a desert fire, but if that's what your goal in life was, then that would probably be the easiest way.
Just take a match and try to burn that dirt over there next to the cactus.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Yep.
Whoa. So how was it?
This was like one time. This was in 4th grade.
Whoa.
It was for a school field trip, and it was it was like in February. So this was the coldest.
Oh, it was pretty cold.
Coldest weather I'd ever been in.
Oh yeah, because was there any snow on the ground or anything?
Yeah,
like
there was ice and snow. It was like 20, like in the low 20s. Yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah, because it could go cold there. I've seen lots of like snow pictures there. How many people do you think have accidentally fallen to their death from the rim?
Oh, hundreds probably.
Surprisingly, they say doing my research for this, it's 55. And of those 55, those who have died, 39 of them were male, which is not shocking at all. And 8 of those men fell while hopping from one rock to another to pose for a profile pic.
Yeah, it's all about the pictures. Now, how many of those 55 was foul play involved?
It doesn't say that in here, but
especially given the fact that most of them are men, that sounds pretty.
Yeah, kind of like that stupid kid. I don't know if you've seen Superman 2, where the little kid's like dinking around at Niagara Falls, and then he falls, and then I like how he's falling forever, and then Superman's like getting a hot dog, and he saves him at the last second. I'm like, how long was this kid falling? How long does it take to fall from the?
I guess it feels like forever when you're falling.
I guess. Speaking of, have you ever done anything crazy to get an awesome profile picture?
No. Nope.
What about the time that you stacked all those bottles up at the bar on top of each other?
I mean, I wouldn't call that crazy. I would
just
call that
stupid.
I would call that creative. And
creative.
I mean, no one else was doing it. So, I mean, I'm a bottle stacker and a can stacker.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I
think I might have. Yeah, I think I got from your table to the roof one time.
I think you're right.
It was amazing. And you told me I couldn't do it. You told me it wouldn't work. And lo and behold, there's photographic evidence out there somewhere.
Unfortunately, yes. Eric, you are familiar with the old famous shootout at the OK Corral in Tombstone, right?
Yes.
It's considered to be the most famous gunfight in all of the American Old West. 1881. That's when that happened.
Yeah, they make a lot of profit off of that now, running those little stage plays or whatever you call them.
Do you know how long that actually lasted, that gunfight?
I mean, it couldn't have lasted that long.
This gunfight actually lasted just a little bit longer than my first sexual experience. It lasted for 30 seconds.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did I say, was that out loud? Was this?
It's fine.
Oh.
Hey, look, we've all been there.
Oh, that was awkward.
We've all been there, buddy.
And the planet Pluto was discovered in Flagstaff on February 18th, 1930.
Is Pluto still a planet?
Well, that's what I was going to get to. Yeah. So Pluto had quite the run. It had a great run. 76 years. It had a status of being a planet until 2006.
Didn't they bring it back as a planet? Or is it
still, so they reclassified it from a planet to a dwarf planet. Is that politically correct? Should they be calling planets dwarf planets in this kind of world we're living in here?
Pluto hasn't said nothing about it, so I guess it's gonna stick.
Pluto's not gonna be like having any marches or protests against it.
No, it's gonna.
You're like, it's pretty safe. Yeah. It's pretty safe.
It's not going anywhere.
Pluto hasn't said anything. Oh, all right. Just a couple more facts about Arizona. Did you know, Eric, that it is illegal in the state of Arizona for donkeys to sleep in bathtubs?
I have heard that stupid law before, yes.
How did this become a law? And have you ever owned a donkey?
Never owned a donkey, never rode on a donkey, never been to a donkey show. So
have you ever seen a donkey in person?
Yeah, I've seen them in person, but...
could it be, I mean, is it possible that something went wrong, like when someone was trying to wash their donkey and it kicked them in the face or something?
Look, with the things people have done with donkeys, I don't even want to speculate on that.
All right, move it along. Move it along.
No.
All right, so Arizona has 13 species of rattlesnakes, more than any other state. Did you know that?
Yeah, we're big. We're doing it big.
And about 150 people are bitten by rattlesnakes every year in Arizona. Doesn't that seem low? With all the people hiking around and shit, like dinking around in the desert.
Pretty low. Well, not only that, but I mean, snakes show up in your house,
right?
Your backyard. So yeah.
Have you ever been bitten by a rattlesnake or?
Never been bitten by a snake. No.
I've been bitten by snakes, just not rattlesnakes.
No, I've been stung by scorpions, but never been by a snake.
Dang. How was that? Did you have to go to the hospital? Did you swell up or anything, or?
I'm sure I did when I was a kid, but as an adult, no. It just burns and goes away. At least for me, it went away after a little bit.
Yeah, I used to catch snakes. I used to catch a lot of snakes back in the day, but they're just gardener snakes, so they weren't like poisonous or anything like that.
Did you make belts and boots out of them?
No, I didn't. I don't remember usually killing. I remember I rode over some on accident, like when we'd be riding our bikes, they'd be like slithering across the
Have
rocks.
you ever tried snake?
I don't know if I have. Does it taste like chicken?
No, that's just what people says. It's just got like a rougher taste to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Would you recommend it?
You got to try it at least once. Got to try
look at
everything
this
at least
guy.
once.
Yeah, you got to be up for anything, like, donkey action.
Well,
All right.
I don't know about that, but
So, moving on.
there are limitations.
How much do you think the biggest ever snowfall on record in Phoenix was?
In Phoenix was probably less than 5 inches.
So it's actually measured at 1 inch. This is just Phoenix. Now we're not talking like Flagstaff or anything like that. It was actually measured once in 1933 and then again in 1937. So the 30s were big for snowfall apparently in Phoenix.
As they say, global warming.
Yeah, it's just getting hotter.
It is
now.
real.
Hotter and hotter. And how old were you in 1997?
I was 9.
9 years old. So are you old enough to remember the famous lights over Phoenix?
Yeah.
Did you see the lights over Phoenix?
I didn't see them personally, but I watched many of home footage and Unsolved Mysteries. They had a big special on it. So I was all over that.
Yeah, I've seen that too. So it was on March 13th, 1997, an unexplained aircraft was just sitting in the skies over Phoenix, hovering for 106 straight minutes.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. Like, there's video of this. I mean, it's not like good video, but it's like
one of the longest recorded
it's crazy
episodes of something like that. And of course, nobody knows what it is.
So weird. Anyway, so I just thought that was interesting. Man. Well, Eric, we're about ready to fill up our drinks here again. So
you're gonna call the ladies over now?
Yeah. This is this pandemic, man.
Some nice long conversations. See, I mean, look, when that's why everyone, like all the guys, they're like, the friend zone, gross. I mean, I got some nice property in the friend zone. I got a big mansion in the friend zone. Like, I'm enjoying myself. I enjoy it. I have no problem whatsoever.
You're like the Hugh Hefner of... Wait, that's not a good example.
Well, this may or may not be politically correct, but I'm the straight version of the gay best friend.
Oh, the straight version of the gay best friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wrap your head
around that. So you're like the safe guy that they know that nothing will happen to, but in the back of their head... Oh, I'm getting confused. All right.
Don't overthink it. Just let it be.
All right, Eric. Well, you know what? It's been good having you on. Is there anything you want to say besides being in the friend zone again? And is this pandemic going to be over anytime soon, or what?
It'll probably be over before we ever see Andy again.
Which Andy?
Either.
Andy Matlock or Andrew Velasco?
Either. We probably will never see either in person for quite a while now.
Well, you're always the ultimate optimist, except for when it comes to the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the clear, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, you don't care about the pandemic.
Yeah. To me, it's already over.
Well, I'm glad that you tested negative for COVID. That makes me feel fantastic sitting here talking to you, even though we are behind a screen. So that's great. That's great.
So we're hugging after this, right? No?
I like how people want to do stuff that I never did in the first place, but all of a sudden, now that there's a pandemic, people are like, you know what? Give me a hug, Josh. And I'm like, I don't know about that. That's kind of weird. All right, Eric. Well, you've said it all. You've said it all, Eric. You've talked about donkeys. You've talked about your sports teams and how great they are. Some of the best teams of all time. Some of the greatest players of all time.
I'm wearing a Cardinal shirt right now.
Wearing a Cardinal shirt.
Always representing.
Heck yeah, man. Your beard looks fantastic from what I could see through the gloss of the screen here.
Yeah, I haven't shaved in about a month, so I'm doing good.
I mean, nobody has to really do anything now that nobody sees anybody.
Nope, just gotta look good for those virtual meetings.
Exactly, the virtual meetings and the Rich Falls Zooms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, with your ex roommate.
Yeah, Andy. All right, man. Well, it's been good having you on. We'll have you on again, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. And be careful on that leg of yours. Hopefully that heals up soon.
I'll be back and better than ever.
All right, hope so, man. All right, talk to you later. Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the Josh and Friends podcast. If you have any questions or comments about today's show, feel free to leave a message in the comment section below. If you enjoy listening to the podcast, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow the show. And check out some of the video clips posted on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Josh, and thank you for being a friend.